quick update before we begin. I know it's been a while. Internet's been spotty here. Heat's been knocking out power, but knocking out internet. Hopefully this stream goes uninterrupted. I know I've been putting it off, but this game just kind of unsettles me quite a bit, so I'm not in any hurry to play it. So it's kind of a bit of a chore to try to get into it. Okay. Should I hit continue or load? Oof, it's been a while indeed. Okay. Morning draws bright and clear the following day. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so around October 23rd. Although the air still feels muggy, I miss the chilly autumn weather. It's one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Ash's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. Oh yeah, that's right. The last thing that happened, I think, at the end of the day was we got that phone call in the middle of the night. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair's disheveled mess, eyes drowsy, and overall looking like he hurried to get out of bed. Or fell out of it. Or both. That was my line. He looks adorably rumpled this way. You do like him. You're trying to hide it, but you're not hiding it well. But then again, I am peering directly into your thoughts and reading them as if they were words on a screen. So, there's that. Is this even capturing the game audio? The game is being pretty quiet right now. But I'm not going to tell him that. It'll only bloat his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
Okay, nope. Game audio is working. Makes a motion with his finger around his ear. Tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers me with a slight raise of his hand, a yawn, nothing more. He has never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that, I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him makes fun for me. Oh wait, less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. That's what the log said, right? Yeah. There's a reason why mornings are my favorite. Says the woman who sleeps in all the time. And oversleeps. On top of that. It doesn't take long for us to reach our destination. The small cafe situated in Luxbarn's busiest street. The same one I'd often visit with Becca for its cheap food. The one that we were at yesterday, right? Never gone here on a Sunday. Never gone here on a Sunday. These two are right next to each other in the sentence. And it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekday and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back at home near the university I used to attend. I wonder what happened to it. It was being renovated, so I left before I left, so I never got to visit it one last time. The place has always been had a calming effect on me. But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, Anxiety easily washes over me as soon as I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, but thanks to my work, I still don't know 'em. Who's saying this? Are we still on Isabella's thoughts? Okay. I'm just gonna check something out of tab real quick. Wow, it still has like looks like there's red skies outside. Okay. Let me just check the backlog. Anxiety still washes over. I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, thanks to my work, but I still don't know them. But still, okay. Lost in translation, maybe? I don't know. In spite of the fact both Ash and Becca vouched for him, what will he think of me and my story? Oh, that's right. We're going to meet the professor guy. What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw in a breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant steps forward, and then Ash suddenly pulling me back by my elbow.
Hold on, scaredy cat, not too fast.
Ash, I've missed your voice. Without warning, he flicks my forehead. Hard.
That hurts. What was that for?
He's already walking away when I look up, and I hurry to catch up to him, puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. So rude.
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything.
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were okay last night either.
What was that last one? Hey, don't just ignore me.
All questions and retorts die on my mouth once he opens the door to the shop. Cast an iron bell attached to it, chimes softly announcing our arrival. The smell of freshly brewed coffee welcomes us as we step in. Oh, it is the same cafe. With the weird antiques on the walls. Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for the patrons, but most of the customers have foregone them, in favor of the more comfortable throw pillows and bean bags the staff have laid out on the floor. Oh, that's what those are. Becca would love to know they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining about how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time now. Oh, ooh, a new model! Oh, we're meeting him at the... That's so weird. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and book.
Professor Clark.
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
Detective Inspector Frey? Wait, he actually works for some department, if he's calling you Inspector. Do you work for Interpol? The guy, Andrew, looks up from his book and gives him a smile. A sheepish look crosses Ash's face, and the older man's admonishment. At the older man's admonishment. I read bad. I like that they went through the effort of animating the background. This is more effort that's gone into this than most visual novels I've ever actually played. More unusual, in my opinion, is seeing him appear like a parent that has just scolded him. But it suggests familiarity between them. One that goes beyond what someone expects from a simple student mentor. With another warm smile, he gestures for us to take empty seats opposite him.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time. But I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here.
You mean you can't get bear claws in this town unless you go super early? Surprise, surprise. I'm not a big fan of bear claws. I like the more generic donuts, although custard filled is my personal favorite.
I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
How thoughtful. I don't like coffee though. Soon enough, a waiter brings us 2 more cups and sets down a basket of pastries.
Aren't you going to introduce the lady?
Ah, right, sorry. Isabella, this is Prof. Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
Man, he got it right on his, I think, first guess. She's like from the Philippines, right?
Filipina, actually. It's
Ah.
a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Yeah, that's right. She is from the Philippines.
Ah, your name carries a lot of history, Miss Santos. Just Andrew was fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
Surprising me, none. He doesn't listen to anyone, more like. The awkward tension typically present in first meetings dissipates right after that. I was expecting someone strict and, to an extent, someone severe. No, I was expecting a casual professor, but I was expecting a certain air of prestige. I thought we were talking like a therapist or something. But Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what I have in mind. The more personable kind. Similar to a grandfather who dotes on you at family gatherings. It's obvious why Ash has taken a liking to him.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with.
Yeah, what do you know about haunted mansions?
Let's hear it then.
I give Ash a hesitant glance. He just nods and gestures towards Andrew with his head. Oh, did we bring the creepy note? He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell, after all. I guess that's fair. I keep it short and concise. I found a letter in this old mansion. Now I'm cursed. Exactly as I have told Ash and Zach when they asked about it. I don't mention the name of the place. No use saying it now. There's no use saying it now that someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my problems.
I'm sure it's that letter I found, but I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
I don't get why it's a problem anymore. You've already technically shown the letter to 5 people at this point. So as far as the letter's concerned, you're done. It's their problem now. You hear that, Ash? You got a couple more people to show that to. Unless we're counting it as you've only shown it to one person, being Hannah. What was her name? Why are there dates before the game actually started? There we go. Hannah. Yeah, you showed it to Hannah, and then she showed it to her husband and Mary Ann. And then Zach took it from you, so technically you didn't show it to him. So you've only shown it to one person, technically, I guess. Although if we're not being super technical and super picky about it, you've shown it to 5 people, so I don't care what the Shane letter has to say about anything. Welcome if you're just joining us. But okay.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Anselm Village, aren't we?
Oh, he knows the exact place.
How did you...
No, Ashton told him.
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating.
I would love to read such studies.
It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me. Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Interesting.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history. And it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
What about me?
I'm hoping that there's not like dark gods in the basement or something. There's a lot of wine in the basement.
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing. In the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
I like that you're calling him Detective Inspector, because that means that you know way more about him than we do. My head's starting to spin from all this. No, he's being pretty straightforward. I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. Still too much to take in at once. I look to Ash for help, but his eyebrows are drawn in a frown. If he keeps staring like this at his cup, I'm pretty sure it'll crack soon. I watched Pot Never Boils, watched Cup of Coffee Cracks? Is that what we're saying?
There's still something you're not telling.
Maybe it's a culture thing that I just don't get.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
You can tell that the air quality is bad here because you can probably hear my breathing is getting a little bit disheveled. I actually had a nosebleed today for the first time in many months, and my nose is still kind of bleeding, so you're going to see me touching it quite a bit. In fact, I smell blood whenever I breathe in right now, so you might have to pause the stream at some point if that happens.
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights, then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Do they?
Rights. Luke and Hannah Wright?
You've heard of them. They mentioned that they're kind of famous in the area.
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
Is it only spacebar that advances text?
I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want once they set their eyes on it.
Yes, rich people be like that. 'Cause money talks and everyone else walks.
From what I've heard, word gets around.
A heavy sigh. Popular or not, they're just my clients, albeit a little pushy, but just clients. End of story. I feel sympathy for them. Ooh, another choice. Cool. What is it again? What is it again that Becca does when dealing with a particularly difficult child? The pesky, annoying kind? I wish I could remember. I could certainly use the same trick right about
Ashton,
now.
look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
Like, within the next 7 days? 6 days at this point?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
Oh, I get it, because you might want to use your working relationship to go look at the house.
About a week from now. It depends on how long the approval process would take, but they wanted us to rush in.
Oh, that was different from the actual text.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yeah, but that's happened a few times.
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes,
Oh.
then I don't see a problem with it.
Sounds like someone's using the blender in the other room. Okay.
Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Okay. What? So are you saying that you should probably not sell the house? Is that what you're getting at? I don't get it if that's your line of thinking. Then again, Ash is far from younger sibling to me. If he'd only spell it out, I'd surely understand, but we wouldn't even have to talk about it right now. I'm gonna mute myself until I hear less quiet. Find an even ground, talk it out like the adults we are. It wasn't like this before. Somewhere along the way, something had changed in us as people, as friends. I wish there were a way I could tell when or why. You're falling in love with him, that's the problem. And you're letting those feelings interfere with your perception of what he is trying to tell you. Searching blindly for reasons, the next thing you know, I'll be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
What did she omit?
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
Ooh.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much about that.
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
He was a horrible student, wasn't he?
Tried to sleep on the first day of class.
Oh, come on, who hasn't done that?
He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest.
You know, I used to get marked absent a lot in my junior year. Was it junior year? Yeah, I think my junior year. Yeah, it was junior year. My junior year English class. I used to get marked absent quite a bit because I sat behind this huge guy who was like on the football team. And then after the seating chart changed again, I got stuck behind another guy on the football team who was even bigger than that guy. So, as the scrawny little guy that I am, I could literally get away with sleeping in class, but if I did, with my head down, I wasn't visible. So I would get marked absent. Which is funny because I have perfect attendance in the school that year. Minus that one class where I got marked absent, I think like 14 or so times. Which is so silly. This is why I don't think you should be taking roll by just looking at seats. Or especially from the front of the class.
I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
Ooh. He does not like being embarrassed. He doesn't like talking about himself either. He's very secretive. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I've gleaned over the years. How long have you actually known each other again? I've already forgotten. He's an atrocious singer. He's bad at art. He has a personal vendetta against mornings. Now it feels he isn't that hard to figure out at all, after all. Oh, I just realized that the coffee shop's called Zarbucks. I completely forgot that that's what it's called. It's even right up there, Zarbucks Coffee. How did I miss that? It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. Well, before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice.
Psychotherapy.
Just keep in mind that when it comes to cases like this, things aren't always what they seem.
Why would you tell me that? Naturally, the mansion in the letter brought up several times during our talk. Hey, Sane, how you been? So, I just realized that Sane's here, and we just got finished with a not psychotherapy. It's more than meets the eye. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure we didn't hallucinate, and then there was that nonsense with the... She didn't bring up the nonsense where she tried to call Rose, and like for a second she didn't exist. Like, Rose was literally got remmed at some point. And I have no clue how to deal with that. It's out of... don't do this to me, Sane. Though Ash is right in the fact that Andrew offers a different perspective, he's left me with more questions than answers instead. Yeah, maybe we should have talked to the priest. Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20. What is she? What does she want from me? She wants you to share that letter, but at the same time, you did share the letter and she's not holding up, unless she's very sticklerish about those rules, like I mentioned. So let's just do the quick math. You didn't show it to Rose, you had an opportunity to. Hannah actually technically didn't... Did you actually show it to Hannah, or did she just take it from your bag? I forget. Because Ash, I know for a fact, Ash took it out of your bag and looked at it. We had an opportunity to show it to him, I believe. So we've actually shown it to nobody. I'm hoping that this is one of those novels where we can save everybody and it just doesn't turn into the stereotypical Western horror trope of everybody except for the final girl dies, and then it's going to end with maybe she gets away. Like, what's that movie called again? Cabin in the Woods? I'm hoping we don't have a Cabin in the Woods scenario going on here. Is she ever going to leave? They all continue to bug me after we've left the coffee shop. I don't watch a lot of horror movies because I find them pretty tropey. I'm not a big fan of the horror genre, so this game is a first for me. They'll all continue to bug me after we've left the coffee shop. Oh, the questions, I'm assuming she's talking. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different turn on our way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
Ah, yes. All according to the ancient texts. So we have the scholar. Let's say that's Becca. Or Ash. The jock is obviously... I've forgotten his name. Zach? But then we have the rich people. I don't know. I don't think this fits the stereotype for that. Because we have too many characters.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we going?
If we're going to parody a Western thing, it's got to be Ash versus the Evil Dead. He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a small, nondescript food stall, a little ways away from the movie house. Cool, why aren't we looking at that, and why are we looking at the movie house? Yeah, I have a feeling we're not going to see the rich guy's perspective for a while, because his name is last on the list. And there's a gap here for an extra person, which I assumed was going to be Rose. But who knows? I don't think there's DLC for this game. He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops. Okay. If I wasn't paying closer attention, I would have missed without a doubt. I wonder if you guys can hear that construction that's going on outside still. We're having a fence put in. Because everyone over here in Santa Cruz has to have their front yard fenced in for some reason. Just to be normal. I wasn't paying closer attention, I would have missed it without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets off in the car and walks in its direction. Sheesh, if you want to buy something, just say hi. No need to make yourself look mysterious. Makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait is long, however. Wait, what? He's walking back holding 2 fish-shaped cones in both hands? Okay. My mic is twittering every now and then, but if I keep talking, it's going to get attuned to my voice, so you might not hear background noise. So if I'm talking a lot, that's why, because I'm trying to drown out any possible background noise that the mic could pick up before it even attempts to. But a fish cone. What on earth is a fish cone? An ice cream parfait? Cross of the two? By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up any effort to figure out what he's bought. Not that it looks bad. It's actually quite cute. I'm dying to know, what is it?
Here, take it.
I have to move my head back a little when he thrusts it at me to avoid the ice cream and the fruit toppings from the ending up on my nose.
What's this for?
Oh, the cone was fish shaped. That's what I was getting mixed up. That's why I was like, why did they say fish? Why is it shaped like a fish? That's an even better question. Just why fish? I still want to eat it, but I want to know why.
My arm's getting tired. 5, 4, 3, 2.
With a wary glance, I take it off his hands. I still don't understand why there's a need for ice cream today. I'm assuming it tastes like waffle cone. Nevertheless, I take a bite. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, look, it's ice cream in a waffle cone. It's such a creative object that I don't think has changed in the last 70 years. Unless you count frozen yogurt. Oh, maybe it's froyo. Must have shown in my face because he chuckles as soon as I take another
Saw
one.
the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try.
Sardine oil.
It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
I'm going to charge you for it later. Speaking of sardine oil, have you ever had to take those fish oil pills? Those are gross. I don't really know what the intrinsic health benefits are, but there was a point in my time where I was supposed to be taking those. I think that was when I was in middle school, actually.
Do I need to have a reason?
You like her.
Are you really going to ask me that?
I love her pout face. Here's the thing with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. It baffles me that people don't understand how to haggle. It's just ask for a lower price, and then if they don't give it to you, you raise your price, but still going lower. It's not a hard concept. I don't know if that's actually true. I know that's what I've heard, that they increase brain activity, but I have no clue if there's any truth to it or not. Hell, haggling. Haggle. Of all the people, who'd ask me that? I'd have expected such a request from Becca, but Ash? Not at all. If I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with that expression on his face right now. Why would you bring that up? I think he's starting to regret ever buying this.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What? Oh, he's blushing.
Anyway, during the movie, that's to say, we...
Go on.
Shit. Should have written down something first.
What?
Get to the point, Ashton.
Right. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry for, not getting to the point. I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's all? That's all you're going to say?
This music's kind of loud.
You're not still angry, are you?
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
Okay, cards on the table. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, now the cards are on the table. But yeah, cards on the table. In the last like 2 or 3 years, I really started getting into rom-coms, and I have to say, I don't know why I put off for this long in my life. A good romance can make or break any story, and it's always a fun element to add on to anything, even if it's a little tropey, just a little bit. Oh, there's about 200 or so cards in this box. These are my Magic the Gathering decks, my 2 most expensive ones. Child of Alara Commander deck and Nico Bolas Tribal. I bite into the cone again, a small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve the heat crawling up my face. I think I only actually own 1 pack of 52 playing cards that are in here somewhere. Let me see. I have some tarot cards in a drawer in my desk. Yes, they're in my backpack from the camping trip. I still haven't emptied my backpack from that camping trip back in July. It doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at him. Why I'm feeling embarrassed over an apology, I have no idea. It's because this feels really natural. You two are growing to like each other, and you guys have known each other for years at this point. The key to any effective romance is propinquity, which is closeness amongst dailiness, I guess? Just closeness over time is propinquity. Which is why I'm a sucker for the childhood friend trope. And I get irked whenever that loses to somebody that you've met for like 5 minutes. I don't believe in true love at first sight. Not for a minute. While I am feeling embarrassed over an apology, I have no idea. It's not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him, and in that fraction of a second, it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. We don't even know his work schedule. How do you know that he only has today off? Or yesterday off? He had yesterday off. Silence is an awkward company while we finish our respective snacks. There are words for this. For people like us. For understandings and sentiments like this. Yet, in this instant, they won't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after. Phrases unsaid, still hanging heavily in the air. Yeah, you two love each other. He even the professor called him an inspector, no less. Words are hard. So he's got to be making at least decent money. Although if he's like a PI, less so. Which reminds me, if you're not seeing me on the internet for like days at a time, it's because I'm rewatching Psych, because I love that show. It was added to Amazon Prime, I'm not even sure when, but I've been really enjoying rewatching the series. I'm all the way back up to season 6 over the last couple days. As promised, okay. Oh wow. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Languid. Where children usually seen running around and playing, there is now people lying and leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. Hey, it's those birds again. Like, I like the little subtle touches. I wish more visual novels had like little animations like this, even if they are repetitive and simplistic. The smell of food drifts from the nearby carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one could catch a whiff of freshly trimmed grass. Isn't that more of a morning thing? Then again, I imagine cut grass smells the same whether it's been cut or not cut in a long time. Maybe I should try walking home someday. Get my mind off of things. Yeah, and see Scary Lady in the reflection of a window shop again. To try and find the words somehow. I haven't done that
Thanks,
in a while.
Ash, for today.
No problem. Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
Speaking of romance tropes, I think there's a love triangle because it's also based off of what Isabella brings up a lot about how Becca will do anything for Ash, or if Ash says so. I think it's going to be a love triangle at some point. I'm doing fine. I'm having a little bit of trouble breathing because the air quality here in California sucks. Other than that, I'm fine. That reminds me of one of my favorite Joel Heyman skits. There's like, fight, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss. Yeah. We both do. A mild humid brings the smell of dried leaves, warm the earth, and far-off distant memory. Of false starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people, playing the same parts. Funny how, of all the days, my brain chooses to remember it now.
Wait, Belle.
Bell! Exits cards, his strides unsteady. He approaches me. Or maybe this is his uncertainty showing. I'm not quite sure. A detective inspector with that is uncertain. He has never looked uncertain to me before. Yeah, speaking of Inferno, yeah, when I woke up this morning, it was like 9 o'clock. I'm like, it's not that bright out. I'll sleep in. And then I get up a little bit later. It's like, is the sun still not up? No, wait, it's noon. Why is it so dark out? Always calm, always sure, always collected. You know, the last thing I expected when I woke up today on Cherno Day was to see a bunch of fire and smoke. He stops a short distance from me, close enough and he's within arm's reach. But just far enough for his voice to be heard over decent small talk. This is what it's going to be. He fumbles for something in his pockets.
Here, catch.
Ah, good luck charm. Small bag lands cleanly on my outstretched hands before it hits the ground. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he responds by shrugging and stuffing both his hands into his pockets. Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait. Papa said long ago. For once, this time, I listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, and when he finds it
My
again.
mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said.
Is this the exact same one, or did you just buy this? I've always wondered how those charm things are supposed to work. It's about a creepy chain letter. This game is a horror game, supposedly about a creepy chain letter. And it's turning into a romance on the side. I think we're just in the C or even D plot at this point. My mom used to make it.
I don't believe in this kind of thing now. But if it makes you feel safe, since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one.
So yeah, today's events, if you're just now joining, what you've missed so far is we went and talked to a professor about the incident that we witnessed at the Haunted Creepy Mansion, and then the creepy lady that we saw and the letter and all the spooky shit. And kind of got like a psychotherapy session. We just got an achievement too, actually. Wonder where I can look at that. Somewhere. Oh wow. This has all been updated. Isabella received an unexpected call from her family. Day after the open house. Oh, is this a bug? Because this is technically the next day. It should be Saturday. Oh no, it hasn't updated. We're on Sunday. Perhaps the moment there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. Ah, here we go. Do we go for the obvious answer? I'm gonna go with the sarcastic one. Nice. That was the right choice. It was the obvious choice. Daigo from Yakuza with the same jacket and cross shirt. Huh. I've only seen clips of Yakuza. I know that those games are fun. They're just not my speed. I close the short distance separating us, and lightly in place of phrases one couldn't spin together or answers too early to seek out, I lean over. Words unsaid. Achievement get. Nice. The touch is short, fleeting. It kind of speaks volumes of boundaries we don't often cross as friends. Nevertheless, the thought is there. It lingers. In the gentle autumn wind that passes, in an empty space, it's killing my throat. In the gentle autumn wind that passes, in the empty space separating us when I step back and look at him with a smile. We've been building this relationship from the ground up since... Let me check my book. We've been building this up since... I want to say since she picked us up at the end of the auction. Yeah. This relationship is 3 or so plus years in the making. It's easy to express gratefulness this way, isn't it? At least with my own family, that's the case. Also, there's this little bit of a mixed mash of cultures here. She's Filipino, and I don't really know a lot about Filipino culture, so... Maybe a kiss goodbye is very customary and normal there, but I'm sure there was romantic intentions behind that. At least with my own family, that's the case. For the two of us, I'm not quite sure. Did he understand? After all, gratitude is considerably harder to put into words. When you've spent the latter half of your friendship teetering between good-natured jest and ruffling each other's feathers. We see the redhead mocking, and here we see the redhead mocking its prey. Seconds pass before he clears his throat. His face has gone remarkably red. Whether from the heat or something else, I can't quite tell. No shit, how dumb are you? But he understands. I know he does. Because the smile on him when he finally meets my eye is the gentlest I've seen him show.
I, gotta go. Got some reports I forgot to file the other day.
Maybe he's got a fever. Or maybe it's COVID. I hear that's going around.
Yeah, see you around. Thanks for the ice cream and the charm.
Don't lose it. We won't find one here again if you do.
Oh, it was his personal charm then, if he's saying something like that.
won't. I might move like I have 2 left feet, but I know how to take care of my own stuff. I'm not a total klutz.
Speaking of taking care of stuff, how about cleaning up that room of yours?
I know. And Belle, remember that one time? Devlin Court?
Oh boy, backstory, please tell me more. I'm not sure the context. Oh, I do. And with all the clarity in the world.
You... At the time, when we... What I'm trying to say is that you can rely on me. If something... anything happens.
I mean, that's why we went with your choice about talking to the professor instead of Zachary's choice of talking to the priest. Because I think an exorcism might have been the correct answer. But we went with your option. I don't know what that says about me, but that's probably my hopeless romantic speak.
Not the exact same thing, of course, but you get the idea. I'll be around.
What happened on Devlin Court? That's a better question.
I'll keep that in mind. You're not that bad after all.
The David Attenborough thing? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Professor Priest. Ooh, what about a priest that teaches religious studies? That'd work. Before leaving, he waves at me one last time. Next time we talk, we'll be back to this way we are. Or he's gonna be dead before we see him again. Because at the end of the day, that's how things have always moved between us. What we're familiar with, what we're comfortable with. But for all that, it's always easy to put my own faith in him. That's the only thing we have on today. Professor Clark, Ashton, Fran, and Isabella Santos meet up at a coffee house, discuss rumors surrounding the mansion. The professor warned the young woman not to take everything at face value. Before parting ways at the park, Ashton gave Isabella a charm that supposedly wards off evil, to help put her mind at ease. I just hope I can keep them safe. Keep him safe. Ugh, that's a death flag. A light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distant smell of the earth into the air. And in a few seconds, a flock of birds flies by. Wait for it. Wait for it. There they go. Panning across the horizon. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to visit the grocery too. Oh, come on, it's late. The sun's going down. Now is not the time for grocery shopping. Come to think of it, wasn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? Okay, we're going to run into Creepy Lady again, aren't we? John Woo with his birds. Oh, suddenly the ambient background noise returns. He needs more doves. The cat's name is Berathiel. What? At least that's what its collar says. It's an odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. Wait, what is happening? Did we just jump to someone else's perspective? But it speaks grace. It speaks grace, much like the one that carries it. It shows. In the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hands, every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me. To be honest, I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought materials. Okay, so we're still Isabella. We just got groceries and now there's a cat looking at us. We just skip forward in time and we're missing some context. Without the help of a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all of these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. Now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun. hunched up on a park bench, drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat, curiously watching my every move. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat. But back at home, they're considered ill omens. And they're considered ill omens here, too. And here, which is where you are.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
You're talking to the cat now. Not that I ever acted graceful in my life. Of course, growing up with a rowdy younger brother and sister does that. No, I have 2 younger siblings. And I act with very little grace. Almost none, one might say. But that's because I was a bit of a wild child myself. Or, should I put it, a hyperactive circus bag. Maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me the little troublemaker before. Oh yeah, hang on, not just speaking of Grace. Her mom refers to her as Grace because her full name is Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos. That's a mouthful. A mouthful of a name. It's no use moping. Short breather, and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad. Even if it's a cat. As long as it doesn't bite. Cross my path.
Well, where's your owner anyway?
It's a cat. Why do you care? A lot of people let their cats wander around. He has one, doesn't he? Owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped around one of its paws, though. Wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets.
That's pretty normal.
I tried to bring one home before. A cat. Not black, of course.
Man, you are just super superstitious. Super superstitious. Super superstitious. Superstitious. Super in all caps stitious. Yeah, let's go with that.
And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
Probably because you leave empty cups of noodles everywhere. Your house is a sty. You don't need to be the kind of person to be taking care of an animal, let alone yourself. I side with Becca on that one. I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. That's why he's following me. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
Don't give the cat candy. He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs at it once, twice,
Barovia!
4. That's how you pronounce that? Ah. Of course. Of course the cat belonged to someone you know. Like a good, properly trained pet, Beruthiel responds as soon as he's called. That's a guy's name? Couldn't fool me. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCulloch's hard to miss. What with her height?
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you?
I don't think she's that particularly tall. From what I remember, you're just extremely short. Yeah, you're 5'2". I think you're below average short even for female standards. You're almost a foot. Yeah, you are a foot shorter than a lot of my family members.
Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Yep, she's short. I think she's technically below the standard deviation for women, which I believe is 53 to 56 inches tall. Is I think the average range for height for women in their 20s. I'm older than she is. Which reminds me, my birthday is in 20 days. I'm turning 27. Probably going to do a big stream for that. Probably Jackbox again. Or something that I can do with people in the chat.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Veruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Ah, so that's why the bandage.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Veruthiel's a she.
I thought it was not a guy name. I knew that. She? All this time I thought. Pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, simple nodding of heads is enough. I'm the kind of guy where if you pass by on the street, even if I've never met you before, I will nod in your direction out of consideration. Because I feel like it's just the polite thing to do. Ooh! I keep my tone cordial and warm.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets.
Man, she is not easy to talk to.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
Yep.
No, not at all. She's very sweet.
I'm just very superstitious.
Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back home it is. My grandmother used to tell me stories about
Nothing
it.
has happened to me so far.
Yet. Displeasure is evident on her face. Yep. Ah, of course, I've forgotten that for other people, black cats are an omen of good luck. I've never heard that before. What culture is that a thing? Probably Egyptian, right? They worship, like, some cats, and jackals, and animals, right? There you go again. Running your mouth off, Isabella. I rack my brain for a way to remedy the situation, but she holds out a hand.
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so?
Ugh.
It is good to see you again, Santos.
A complete dismissal if I've ever heard one. Yeah, that could have gone better. We should be saving more often. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she has forgotten
By
to
the
say.
way, about the Irmingard mansion, with my clients, it's the rights, I mean.
I thought you wanted this conversation to end.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
More or less, yeah, just waiting on some paperwork to go through.
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
Drop it. Drop it. The letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCulloch that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. It's worth looking into. Although, as someone who's been watching a lot of Psych lately, maybe it isn't real, and there's someone that's trying to stop someone from the family from allowing the house to change hands. Someone with motive. But I don't know who it is. She's already seen it, so there's no need to show it to her. She is not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too.
You've already pissed her off once today. Let's just leave it at that.
Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hastened to pick all the bags I left on the bench and ran as far as my legs. Oh, that's just impolite. You didn't have to run away. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. Oh. Oh, whoa, whoa. Did not mean to hit that. Home. I want to go home. Okay, I thought that last sentence got cut off. Anywhere. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. Uh-oh. See, look what I mean. Look at this house. It's a sty. Ugh. People tell me my room is not well kept. Food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One would think that someone who had been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. While looking after a lost cat, Isabella Santos met the interior designer Mary McCullough by chance. She also happened to be the cat's owner. The two were soon having small talk before Isabella abruptly left. Yeah, I think I fucked up that conversation. Unless the only goal is to get all the relationships. If the goal is to get every one of these bars completely full, we are not doing well. But then again, we've not met Luke all that much. Becca, we have been causing her to go down and down and down. One would think that someone who's been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. I only like cooking if I'm sharing. I don't like cooking for myself. It makes me feel sad and alone. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. Okay, the TV just says news, 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 news. It's hard when things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you. It eats at you. It is inevitable. It devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home.
Yay! Anywhere but Amangard. Anywhere but Amangard. Anywhere but Amangard. Oh wait, it might be Rose. I have a feeling it's Rose. Oh no.
Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Uh-oh. Homicide? Oh no.
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
I knew it. I hate being right. Because when I'm right, bad shit happens. I hate when I assume the worst and it's correct. You know, I have an F in the chat emote, but Twitch keeps not approving it for some reason. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of creepy faces. There you go. That's from a different horror game I played, where I posed as one of the characters in that game. His name was also Daniel. Fuck.
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Oh wait, another victim? Someone else died before her? Shit. Brutally killed. discovered lying in a pool of blood in her 2-bedroom flat with the words "Help Me" repeatedly written on the walls. I have a feeling we're not going to be playing as Rose now, guys. No, no. This isn't what I want. No, this isn't the person that owns the cat. Miss McCulloch owns the cat. Cat's fine. This was Isabella's partner, who we helped work with to sell the house that is clearly haunted. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. Here we go. The unsettling music's back, guys. But the cat was never there, Matt. But another victim is the takeaway here is that I'm concerned. And they've already got a name, like this is multiple people. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone has kept telling me. So why did I? Maybe we should have shown her the letter. Cats always plot murder. I wonder if I had showed her the letter, if it would have changed this outcome, or if she's just gonna die in every route. Or I don't even know if there is more than one route at this point, because I don't know anything about this game. You guys hear that? I think I hear, like, whispers. There's, like, words in the song. Okay, we're gonna move on. That's what everyone kept telling me, so why? And immediately I rushed to my study table and searched my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly as soon as it touches the edges. Well, let's call the dead person, see if she answered, because last time we called her when she didn't exist, something picked up. Piece of folded paper, the letter lying unassumedly beside it. Slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago. She was okay. Matt, I will give you $5 if the cat turns out to be the murderer. Probably, nah, fuck that. I'll give you 50. I was just with her not too long ago and she was okay. No. It isn't Rose. I'm sure of it. No, it showed her picture. She dead. She's super dead. I also knew that she probably wasn't long for this world because despite her presence, she doesn't show up on this list of characters, so she was destined to die. And I think if we go back and watch my earliest portions of the playthrough, I think I said quite a few things about that. She's not even... Not only is she not the main character, she's not even she was a tertiary character. But she was a named character, and that does matter. I just talked to her, and a sob escapes me. Hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another, they trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. Same one I've been hiding from. But why did Rose die? She never saw the letter. Unless she did see the letter. Actually, now that you mention it, there were she was working on a lot. Let's detective this for a minute. She was working a lot of other cases for other people in the real estate firm because they hadn't been showing up for work. Maybe there is a serial killer that is going around and is just killing specific targets, and she just got caught up with it because of the fact that the people she's targeting happen to be working for the firm. You guys are still on the cat theory? Come on. I'm trying to make logic here, because I don't want it to be a supernatural, crazy ghost lady that murders people that don't spread her chain letter. I want literally anything other than that to be the truth. So I'm going down this serial killer rabbit hole. Oh, the creepy whispering's back. The same one that has put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number in my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up. Tell me to turn down the waterworks. And call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Mr. Mittens. Okay, without looking, can any of you guys even name the cat? And again I dial. Whispering. Praying. Pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxborn in the recent years.
In recent years, come on, I want to hear more of this news story. I need the deets.
The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
Yes, yes. Oh, come on. I want to hear this. New phone, who dis? TV runs loudly in the background. Not as loudly as this background music. Holy crap, can you turn down the ambience? A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers. Oh no, the creepy static answers back, isn't it? But in my ears I can only hear the screams. Her pleas. Her whispers. We are not safe. Well, we wrapped that up in an hour, so I think we can keep going. News broke of Rose Cooper being found dead in her flat this evening before the authorities classified the crime as homicide, possibly linked to the notorious Anselm Butcher, a mysterious serial killer who had committed brutal murders over the years and left their bodies with his signature phrase, "Help me." Oh, the chain letter was a mark, and everyone who picked it up, he's just gonna kill. That makes sense. And then all of the spooky shit's just in your head, because you're a superstitious, crazy person. Buzzing cessation jolts me awake. My body still wants to sleep, to forget what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly, I become... Actually, I can save. Tell them what happened, Ollie. Lady dead. What else? They had blood all over the walls. What's the blood say? Help me. Thank you, Ollie. Slowly, I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled up position the night before. I'm surprised none of your friends saw the news and didn't immediately try to call you. Because I know for a fact that if, like, let's say my brother's name was on all over the news of him being murdered, it's like, so-and-so Sheets was found murdered in their room, I'd be getting 1,000 calls from a bunch of different people immediately. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone. We don't know if it's because of you. Because of the one letter I was too curious to look at. You did look at it, though. Should have been more careful. Should have just kept my mouth shut. Should have destroyed it before anyone else gotten involved. You never showed it to her. I should have. Notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mocking me. When I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. Oh, wow. Alrighty. Strict attendance required today. Joanne Schultz. 12 BRC employees. In light of recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy, and policies will be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales reports for the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective managers for review. We're expecting everyone's cooperation. Thank you, Joanne Alice Schultz, the RCHR manager. I check, nevertheless, out of habit more than anything. If this were one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself to our office. Today my limbs just feel heavy. They're asking people to come in after like one of their coworkers was just found brutally murdered. Fuck you, Joanne. I'm sorry, Joanne. I'm sure that somebody else made you send this email. But send him my regards, and those regards are a double middle finger. On one hand, going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. How will it take you anywhere other than thinking about your coworker? On the other, the place is in itself a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. We want stark reminders of all the mistakes we've made. This is just one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile. Okay, let me go through my thought process of why we're going to work, actually. My thought process is this. We look guilty if we go to work. But at the same time, what does staying home accomplish? Besides moving the grieving process forward. And it said attendance was mandatory in that email. I don't know if you know, I'm not a super stickler for the rules, but mandatory means you have to go to work. Last time I checked. Just like how wearing a mask in public is mandatory right now. Deal with it with a smile, no matter how bad things get, you hope for the best. Although my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair, head for the shower. Your friends are assholes. How have none of them called you yet? Oh, we're looking at this thing again. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares back at me. They sneer. They ridicule. Like living beings, fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it into my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. I think you should destroy that. I don't know how many times I've said you should probably just throw this in a fireplace, because I know I would have by now. This too, I'll deal with. Somehow. I'll find a way to make things right. I definitely would not carry it around with me, especially after the murderer that murdered your coworker sprawlingly wrote "help me" all over the walls. Death to the paper. I have to, before it takes more people from me, even if I must do it on my own. Papers rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, Where did I put my water bottle? Oh, there it is. Overall, today looks like a typical working day at the Briar Realty Company. I'm assuming the or else is the creepy strangle neck lady kills you. The lady with the backwards foot. That's my guess of what happens in the or else. But as I've mentioned probably at least twice now, we've technically already shown the letter to 5 people, so who the fuck cares? Unless we're counting as people that stole it from you and looked at it, don't count. But at which point, I think the haunted spirit is being too much of a stickler for the rules. Not calling me on technicalities. It isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard about Rose, and how her commission is probably going to you. Oh god, we look so guilty. We're the person with motive, means... Ugh. She just had to be murdered. God, this sucks. At least we know a good detective that could try to investigate the case on our behalf. If they missed last night's report, they'd likely see it in the morning news, papers, or various news sites on the internet. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth as though the mere mention of Rose would be enough to trigger something in me. It would trigger me if somebody that I saw and spent every day with just suddenly dropped dead. It would be a sensitive topic. I don't know how I would deal with that. I wonder how my coworkers are doing since the theater closed, actually, now that I think about it. I hope they're okay. It's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. Yang Yang. That's the little bunny thing. Or, sorry, the sheep thing that she had a stuffed animal plushie. After lunch, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what this is about. If it's what the email had to do with, it sounds like we're talking about sales, which honestly is a really crummy thing. The news has already reported on it, so that means whatever the detectives found is public knowledge. But normally they don't share that kind of information of an ongoing homicide investigation with the press. And apparently they've already connected it to some big serial killer that this is the MO. He's in a strange pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I'd appreciate it more if he just shouted at me today. Anything is better.
I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors.
Aren't you our supervisor?
By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff?
I'm sensing Rose was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Which happened to... No, that's not right. I'm sensing she was at home in her flat. Suddenly, a figure appeared, one that she recognized from working on various cases for the firm, as she has been picking up the work for a lot of other people that have gone missing. It then occurs to her that she may have been an accomplice to witnessing a murder happen, which then herself got a target painted on her, and the serial killer came after her as well. Also, they said a body was discovered, meaning we don't know what happened to the other people that left this firm, but wouldn't be surprised if they were also murdered and we just haven't found their bodies yet. By the way, has anyone heard about her still AWOL staff?
None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
Yay, we're getting yelled at. At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights papers. and have been promised an ample compensation for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to anyway, if I want to forget. Employee of the Month achievement unlocked. Yay! Isabella Santos drowned herself with work the whole day to forget about the devastating news of her mentor's death. However, she ended up stumbling upon a mysterious disappearance of her other colleagues. Wait, what? She ended up stumbling upon the mysterious disappearances of her other colleagues, and just when she realized something important. Time flies when you... What? Time flies when you do, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily
The
like that.
Luxbon Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
Uh-oh. Radio blares, one name after the other. Hold on a second. Oh no, I was correct, wasn't I? Missing. Yeah, her staff was missing. The people she was covering for. They're all dead too. Aren't they? Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back to my desktop. Loud tapping my fingers against the keys fills the office. The better part of my shift as I look through everything. The background about the place, its history from the current owners, and the list of employees hired under the BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. It depends on the type of soup. That's my opinion on if soup's a drink. BRC have a lot of staff, but they may have a lot of agents hired, but I remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us preparing the mansion for the open house. Then the letters... No, that can't be. I hope that's not what I'm
Rose
thinking.
is...
Something snaps into place for a fraction of a moment. These people, Rose, the letter...
I need to... No, if it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe. I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but maybe there's still a way I can save them. The letter, my phone, papers, anything that will be useful. I grab all of them and stuff them into my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should. Noise cuts sharply through the... I'm stopping my hand sharp. Oh no, she's making photocopies, isn't she?
Hello? Anyone there?
Someone must have left the printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person's certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over the wasted company resources. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my hand welcome distraction as I search for this said object. Each stride my feet echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learn to appreciate. Learn to appreciate? Doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray having also been left ajar. Sighing, I pick up each of it to put someplace proper. But the page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill makes its way up my spine when it's numbing, as is my day in the attic. The sheets crinkle under my tense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted teeth. But before I can even gather myself, take the first steps out of there, and total darkness suddenly envelops me. Did you print those? Is that what you were doing? If so, Okay, so it printed itself. And as if hearing every horrid thought running inside my head right now, something snaps. A soft creak grating through the thin veil of silliness that has descended into the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid at the sound. Familiar. So familiar now. Yet my own traitorous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's wall. No, I'd say run for it. I would have started running as soon as the lights went out. That's the only door out of here, is it? I have a feeling a fucking QuickTime event's coming, so we're gonna save. Okay. Oh boy. Standing in the only... Fuck! I hate being right. Albeit facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gait. Same person in the attic. Take a step back. Pen I'm holding slips from my hand. Oh, that's right. Is there something in my room I can use as a weapon if I need to? I guess I could bat somebody with this thing. It's metal. Ow. Yeah, that would hurt. I'm amazed that the bot let you type that without it actually saying that that was spam. I take a step back, the pen slips from my hand and her entire head turns. Oh, that's gross. A scream almost escapes my mouth and I duck under my table. As quickly as she saw you go under the table. Why would you do that? My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone-chilling sounds of her walk, the weird clicking that follows her, and the telltale squelch of something wet as she walks toward me because her ankle is turned around and is not facing the correct direction. Okay, nearer and nearer. Sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand as it covers my mouth. Someone, please save me. Anyone. Yeah, what happened to the janitor? I close my eyes, muttering this continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. Oh, come on! No, fuck that. We're trying that again. Fuck that. That was stupid. Okay. What was that achievement we just got anyway? Necrotic paralysis. Lose a QTE. Screw you, QuickTime event. We're gonna save. Unless there's another one. The seconds, minutes stretch out before me, agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly I open my eyes and take a peek. I dare not move or make a noise. Yeah, you're right. Let's save again, just in case. In the face of such terror, I can only beg. Let out a silent pleas to whoever is out there. Please, please don't let her notice. Her head was backwards, looking straight at you when you ducked under the desk. She knows exactly where you are. Doesn't find me. Praying is not going to help you. I want to live. Here comes the jump scare. Did we just jump to a new date? '17th, Monday. Hannah Wright Nee Evans. April 30th, Tauros, 31 years old. Hey, she's older than me. 5'7". She's the same height as me. Roughly. I guess I'm 5'8", technically. Because they round up on my ID. Yeah, we're here, Monday, October 17th. We went back in time. Maybe we shouldn't have gone to work. Or hey, who knows? Maybe if we were home and there wasn't a photocopier to make 5 copies of the letter, we would have died there. Who knows? Yeah, it was the 24th. We went a full week back. Oh, I just realized that there's no 19th and 20th. How did I miss that? Back to the past. Well, since we wrapped up that, I guess we can end it here then. Before my heart gives out, and I have to do even more deep breathing in a very poor air quality. Paranoid save. We save as often as possible. Actually, now that you mention it, David, in the options, I think there was an option to disable QTEs. It's a visual novel. I left them on because I felt that if I took them out, it would make it even less of a game than a visual novel already is. Because when you really break it down, a visual novel is not really a game as much as it is an interactive story. Or like one of those choose-your-own-adventure books. So, I'll see you all next time when we resume Valkyria Chronicles. Because I think we've taken a long enough break from Valkyria Chronicles to where we can jump back into the main story. Although, I am intrigued to finally finish up the Guild War. Since we're pretty close to wrapping up Guild War and Shadowverse. This has been fun! So we're going to end it off here. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Bye-bye for now.